Okay, let me turn the camera off because it's dark and y'all aren't gonna see shit anyway. Right, so I finally got logged back into my Adrasdea account on Recolor, and I found the full conversation that I had with this person. NetX1 was the name that they were using. Started 29 months ago, so this is 2.5 years ago that this began. I was still homeless at the time. They instigated the conversation completely. They sent the first message, and they said, "Don't let anyone get you upset. I hope everything gets better for you. Nobody knows the struggles about being homeless unless you were homeless before. Ignore the negative comments. Don't pay them any mind or perspective." Now, some people on my YouTube are saying that this is very clearly a child. I should have been aware that this is a child messaging me, but this is not, to me, this does not tell me that they are a child. And you might say, well, what about their profile? There's nothing there. There is nothing to show to me that this person is much, much younger than I am. I replied, I try, but it really does get to me sometimes because online is my only support system. I only recently found a real life friend, literally less than a month ago. The last 5 years that I've been homeless, this site has been all I've had for emotional and financial support. Okay, so let's let that truck pass going. Letting the truck pass, I'm sorry. Okay, so again, this is 2.5 years ago. This is before COVID. This is apparently just after I met my friend in the Navy. This is before he even gave me the truck, because he didn't give me the truck for a couple of months after we met up again. So I have no idea how I was supposed to be able to tell that this kind-hearted person was actually 14 years old. So they responded, still 29 months ago. This is still 2 years ago. People here support you, and losers who just talk shit about you for being homeless like it was your choice, know nothing about economics and how life works. Just don't let it get to your head. The people with morals know you're going through a tough time, and fuck the wannabe edgy degenerates. Again, I'm not sensing that this is a child that I'm speaking to. They're talking about people with morals and shit. So then 27 months ago, 2 months after they started this conversation with me, which I had stopped responding to. So 2 months after they asked Send News for some money, I didn't respond. Let's see, 17 months, that would be a year after. About a year later, they messaged me and said, "How fat are your tits?" Finally, I responded 16 months ago and said, "Are you still willing to pay for pics?" They said, "Yes, if you've got fat tits." So, need you to answer quicker. 15 months ago, it took 3 days for you to respond, but you need me to answer quick. No thanks, I already regret offering. I don't use this site that much. It took 50 days, and I'll give you $50 if you do it. My fault for rushing you. So they're saying that they have money, like a lot of money, which in my experience a child would not have. It's my fault for coming at you like that. You still want the money? Here they're very pushy and arrogant and manipulative, and trying to draw me back because I had pulled back on the offer after they became kind of aggressive. And so, send your Cash App or PayPal. Finally, I responded, PayPal me /Adrasdea and give me an email to send the pics. They asked, you Snapchat? And I said no. I said, I won't send them anyway with email. They're not worth anything anyway. He said, what's your email then? He said, you've got to show me how fat your tits are and I'll give you $60. Here's my email. And I responded, I sent one pic to them. I'll send more once I get the money. They responded, do you have a fat ass? And I said, I'm not sending anything else without payment. They asked, I'm asking you a question. I said, no. They said, send me a picture of your ass and you'll get the money. I need to see. And I said, and you're obviously not going to pay to find out. And he said, yes, I am going to pay. Request it to my PayPal. And this is where I realized that they were not actually going to pay me for the picture that I took. And I went into complete panic, freak out mode, which is always fun, merry time. And I responded, you know, it's fucked up to use a homeless person, but that's why I only sent one pic. I knew you were full of shit. The fact that I'm hungry enough to actually attempt this is fucked up. This day I was needing food. That's why I was giving him the pictures. He said, why would I scam you? I said, I'm not sending you a request. I gave you my PayPal. PayPal me / Adrasdea. There's no need for me to try to find you and possibly request from someone else. Now, what I meant by that was, if he had given me a fake email, like, if I'm just sending a request to somebody, I don't know who I'm asking them, who I'm really asking the money from. They could have just sent me some stranger's PayPal and was like, here, request money from this person. And I don't feel comfortable doing that. If you're going to send me money, you need to send it to me. I'm not going to request it unless I know that it is your account that I'm requesting it from. I don't do that because I don't feel comfortable doing that, because I don't want to be taking money from people who don't even, or asking money from people who don't even know what's going on. If this person has, you know, been online harassing people, who knows what they're doing? Who knows? That was a big ass rat. I'm sorry. Okay, he says, I'm not using you. I told you I'm going to send you money. And I said, why scam a homeless woman of her dignity? Because human beings are garbage. And he said, why would I scam you? I just want to see your ass. It doesn't matter if you're wearing clothes or not. And I said, you're not going to send anything. The next pic I said will be of me bleeding. I deserve to bleed for being stupid enough to think I'd get a single dollar from this. And they said, yes, I would have. I would have blocked you after you sent the first pic. I'll send the money. You're bugging and taking shit too seriously. I said, no, because you want more free pics. Pay for the first pic. And then I just kept repeating my PayPal. And that is the end of the chat. After I put up my PayPal this many times, telling him to pay for the picture he received, I understood that it was a scam, and I reported it to the mods, and I made a thread letting other people on the forum be aware that there was a person scamming naked photos from people. And I made them aware of that because I was aware that there were some children on the site, and I didn't want a child to be scammed of naked photos. I didn't realize that it was a child that was scamming me. So they got the one photo, and that's the one that they're now saying they're going to put me in jail for sending. It's just a photo of my breasts. They actually looked nicer back then because I've lost weight now. Regardless, when I told y'all that this person had been stalking me and that they instigated the conversation, they did not portray themselves to be a manipulator or a child, which apparently they were both. I was not lying when I told y'all that I felt like they manipulated me into getting that picture so that they could use it against me to put me in jail because they didn't want. I feel like this is somebody who just doesn't like homeless people, and he realized that if he could entrap me into a child porn thing, then he could put me in prison, and that would be a homeless person off of the street. But it would then be a homeless person in prison, which is still your taxes are still paying for it. So I don't know why. I guess it's better because you don't have to see them if they're in prison, and you believe that they're being treated awfully, because that's what you believe we deserve to be treated if we're not working. This was a setup. This was a setup for almost 3 years. They were preparing for this. Like, this is, you can't tell me that this was not set up. You can't. They set me up. They set me up, and now they're going to put me in prison for it. But these messages will prove that I'm not the one that was the manipulator in this situation. I'm not the one that sent out the first message. I'm not the one that pressed for more. I'm not the one. They are. They're the ones that were using people, homeless people. I was homeless at this time. I don't have any. They didn't really want a picture of me. They just wanted to use it to hurt me later. They knew that one day they would get somebody that would buy the picture, and then they could put me in jail. They knew they had to have done that. Why else would they be doing? Why else? They don't talk like a 14-year-old. I guess now they would be 17. But they don't. I didn't talk like this when I was 14. I'm not everybody, I know, but I never imagined a child would do this to me.